This video goes with lesson 1 in the data unit. If you haven't already, you should make a folder in Notability called Data. Let's go on. All right, let's talk about measures of central tendency. They're used to describe the middle of a data set. Mean, median, and mode are measures of central tendency. They kind of describe the data really well. They're kind of like the middle number, but not literally the middle number every time, but just it would be a good representation of the data, the mean, median, and mode. Then we also have the range. That one's not a central tendency measurement, but we do that with these other ones. I do believe these are review terms for you, so let's just go back over how to find them. So to get the mean, you're going to add up all your values in your data set, and then you divide by how many values there are. So like in a class of 30 kids, if I want to know the mean of the test scores, I add up everybody's test score and I divide by 30. The median, that's the middle value. So that one is literally the middle value, but you have to put them in order first. That's the key. You can't just get the middle of them the way they're given to you. You need to put them in order from lowest to highest first, then find the middle number. If there's an even number of pieces of data and there's two middle numbers, you need to find the middle of the middle. If sometimes it's easy enough to find the middle of the middle. If the two middle numbers are, say, 12 and 14, then the middle of that is obviously 13. But if the two middle numbers are not quite as obvious as that, then you'll just have to get the mean of those two numbers. You'll add them up and divide by 2. So if there's an even number of data pieces, you will get the mean of the two middle numbers. All right, next we have the mode. The mode is the value that occurs most frequently. It's the one you have more of on the list. Sometimes there is no mode. Other times there's one mode. Sometimes there's two modes. We call it bimodal. There might be 3 modes. It just depends on how much data we have. And then if there's a whole bunch of them, I wouldn't really call them modes, okay? But the mode is the one that occurs more often than others. And then finally, the range. That's the difference. You're going to take the highest and the lowest numbers and subtract. Just if I wanted to know the range of test scores, I would take the highest score and the lowest score and say, oh, the test scores ranged by 20 points. All right, so another term, though, that I think is a new term is an outlier. Okay, it's a value that is either far less or far greater than the rest of the values of the data. It's kind of a subjective thing, whether there's an outlier enough. How far away does it have to be an outlier? That's kind of up to you. If most of the data values are in like the 20s and 30s, and then you have a number up in the 50s, it's probably an outlier. So if it's just not near the other numbers, it's an outlier. And then in addition to finding the mean, median, mode, and range, it's knowing when to use which one. So here we go. The mean, the best time to use the mean is when there is not an outlier. The outlier is going to change your middle a lot. It's going to really throw off the mean. So if there is an outlier, you would not use the mean. If there's not an outlier, the mean is the best measure of central tendency. The median, we'd use the median if there is an outlier because it doesn't affect the answer as much. We're going to do some examples. You'll see what I'm talking about in a minute, okay? The mode, you'll use that when you need to know which one occurred most often, like what was the most common test grade or who won the election, which person got the most votes. That's the mode right there. And finally, you should use the range if you need to know how spread out the data was. Like this class's test scores ranged by 20 points, so we had people all over the board. But maybe my other class, their scores only ranged by 4 points. They were all kind of on the same page. They all kind of understood it equally. All right, now we're going to go ahead and use or measure those mean, median, mode, and range. It says identify the outlier in the data set and determine how the outlier affects the mean, median, mode, and the range of the data set. So look at our data, 21, 21, 28, 29, 51, 28, and 32. So most of my numbers are in the 20s and maybe a 30, but that 51 kind of stands out to me. I would consider the 51 an outlier. So let's put that over there. So we're going to now calculate the mean, median, mode, and range with the outlier and then take it out of the equation and calculate it without the outlier. It is part of the data, so I mean we do need to include it, but we want to see how it affects it if we don't include it. So for the mean, here's how much work I need to see. You need to add up all of these numbers And then we need to divide by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And you can absolutely use a calculator for this. So if you add up all of our numbers, including the outlier, we get 210. And now we're going to divide by our 7 pieces of data, which gives us a mean of 30. So you can just go ahead and do this with me. I don't need to see that you did 21 plus 21 plus 28 plus 29 plus 51 plus 28 plus 32. I just need to see what total you came up with and what you divided by. Just in case you make a mistake adding it and you get a different mean, it would be nice to know where that came from. The median, this we do need to do. We need to put these numbers in order. So I see two 21s, and I like to cross them off as I go. I see two 28s. Cross those off. I see a 29, a 32, and a 51. So now I like to do this. Instead of like going low, high, and crossing them off, I like to match them up. Those two match up, those match up, those match. So I'm left with one number left in the middle. So my median is 28. All right, mode. I see two numbers that appear twice on the list and everything else appears once. So my mode, I have two modes in this case, 21 and 28. So there's two modes. And finally, the range, I would like to see a little bit of work on this. I just want to see what numbers you're using. The high number, 51 minus 21. So our range is 30. All right, let's go ahead and try this. Same thing, but without the outlier. We're going to take the 51 out of our mean, median, mode, and range. So for our mean, our previous total was 210. If we take out the 51, that leaves us with 159. And now we only have 6 pieces of data. And if you use a calculator, 159 divided by 6, you should get 26.5. That's a pretty big difference when we're talking about the mean. That one's kind of more in the middle of the numbers now, 26.5. That 30, that doesn't really seem like it was in the middle to me. So I think that outlier affected our mean a lot. Our median, if we get rid of the 51, now I'm going to connect them without the 51. Oh, it still leaves 28 and 28 in the middle. So our median is 28. It didn't change. It didn't have an effect on our median with an outlier. Our modes are still 21 and 28. That didn't change. Our range is for sure going to change because our high now is 32 minus 21. So now our range is 11. So that outlier had a big effect on the mean and the range. It did not have much of an effect on the median or the mode. So that's why we said when there is an outlier, go ahead and use the median. It's the better measurement. And when there's not an outlier, then use the mean. We have another page that's pretty similar. We have a set of data. It says identify the outlier and determine the mean, median, mode, and range of the data set. Let's look at our numbers 4, 12, 7, 5, 20, and 9. I'd say that 20 is pretty far away. I mean, 12 is 3 away from 9. That's a little bit higher, but 20, that's pretty far out there if we're talking about from 4 to 12. So I'm going to say the 20 is the outlier. So if you're feeling good about this, go ahead and pause it, and then you can just come back and check your answers with us. I'm going to go ahead and work through these again. We're going to calculate the mean, median, mode, and range with the outlier and without the outlier. So the mean with the outlier, we're going to add up all our numbers. You should get 57. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 numbers. 57 divided by 6. And that would give you 9.5 for our mean. Our median, if we put them in order, we have a 4, 5, 7, 9, 4, 5, 7, 9, 12, and 20. So we're going to find our median. Oh, it's in between 7 and 8, so obviously halfway between there is 8. If we didn't know that, we would do 7 plus 9 is 16, divided by 2 is 8. There is no number that appears more than others. So in this case, we say no mode. Don't say 0, because 0 is a number. Okay? The range is our high, 20, minus our low of 4. So our range is 16. That's with the outlier. Now, without the outlier, we're going to get rid of the 20 in our data set. So instead of 57, our total is going to come up to 37. Now we're going to divide by 5 instead of by 6. 37 divided by 5 would be 7.4. You should be doing this on a calculator with me, making sure you're getting the same answers. Our median, now when we match them up, 4 and 12, 5 and 9. So our median is 7. Well, it was previously 8, so it really didn't get thrown off too much. Our mode, there's still no mode. That didn't change. And the range is going to change quite a bit because now it's going to be 12 for our high minus 4. So our range is only 8 now. That was cut in half. So again, you can see the outlier has a pretty big effect on the mean, hardly any effect on the median, no effect on the mode, but a big effect on the range. All right, here's an example. It says determine and find the most appropriate measure of central tendency for each situation and justify your answer. It says competitors received the following scores for their performance in a gymnastic competition. So these are all different competitors. Their scores look like they're in like the 9-point-something range, 8-point-something range. Oh, I see one here in the middle, 0.8. That guy must have like totally wiped out and not gotten up or something. So that is definitely an outlier. So this data set, we don't need to do all of them here. It said decide which one to use. Which one would give us the best measure if there is an outlier? Well, let's look over here. Median says if there's an outlier, that's the best one. So we're going to say we're going to use the median because there's an outlier. So that's the best one because there is an outlier. So that's the one we need to find out, okay? The median because there is an outlier, okay? Now we got to put all these numbers in order. You can pause it or you can do it with me. You got to write really small because there's a lot of them. 0.8, 8.1, 8.2, 8.3. I'm going to go cross these off. I had 0.8, 8.1, 8.2, 8.3. There's an 8.5 and an 8.6. 8.5, 8.6. Let's see, there's an 8.7, 8.8, 8.9. There were no repeats. That's why the mode would not be a good call on this one. 8.9. Then there's a 9.0. Let's see, 9.0. I got the 8.9 already. There's a 9.1. I'm going to go down here so I can see it over the picture. There's a 9.2 and a 9.3. Okay, so this time I am going to do the thing I said not to do, and I'm going to go low, high, but I'm going to make sure every time I cross them off in a pair. So I'm going to go low, high, done. 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 And that leaves me with 8.7. So the median score is 8.7. That represents those scores pretty well. Just because that one guy wiped out, we shouldn't include that guy. Normally in competitions, they throw out the lowest and the highest scores just for that reason. So hopefully you'll see that we would not do the mean in this case because the scores with the average would be much lower than it should be because of that one score. All right, our final note page, it says employees at a store earn $275, $330, $290, $300, $350, $365, and $309 during 1 week. So those are all different salaries. Which measure would make the salaries the highest? Well, we're going to go ahead and calculate them and find out which one comes out the highest. Let's see. The mean. Go ahead and pause it. Let's try these three maybe on your own. Make sure that you're doing them right with me. Try them, pause it, and come back. And let's make sure we have the same answer. So go ahead and pause and do these problems. Find the mean, the median, and the mode. All right, well, hopefully you've done these now. You add up all your salaries for the mean. You would get $2,219, and there were 7 salaries, so we're going to divide by 7. So your mean salary you should have found was $317. All right, the median, if you put them in order, 275, 290, 300, 309, 330, 350, and 365, you would find out that the center was 309. Okay, so $309 was the median salary at this company. And there was no mode, there were no repeats. Okay, so which one of these, it says, would make the salaries the highest? Well, the mean. Okay, the mean would make the salary seem the highest. Why would we want to advertise that we have high salaries? Well, maybe we're trying to attract employees and say, hey, come work for us. We pay really well. Our average salary is $317. So that would be a reason why we'd want to know to use the mean and not the median. We want people to think we pay a lot of money, that it's a good place to work. All right, so your assignment is this page and the next. It's 4 problems, but obviously some of them have more parts to them. Like number 1, you're finding all 4 of these, mean, median, mode, and range. And then the question says which one of these would make the salary seem the highest. Number 2, you're going to find the outlier. There is an outlier. Then you can calculate all 4 of these with the outlier and then without the outlier. And then circle the one that is affected the most by the outlier. Number 3, I'm going to give you a little help on real quick. It says Teresa has taken 3 tests so far that were worth 100 points each. Her scores were an 85, 93, and 88 so far. She's got 1 test left to take. What score must she get on the last test so that the mean of all 4 tests is 90? So let's think about it. If we know how to get the mean of 4 things, we add them up and then we divide by 4. We want that answer to come out to 90. So we want her total scores, when we divide them by 4, to come out to 90. And we happen to know 3 of the 4 scores. We need to figure out that 4th score so that when we add them all up and we divide by 4, it equals 90. So hopefully that's enough of a hint to help you out on that one. And then finally on the last one, there's a few salaries here. It says for 3 years, these were her salaries. And then the following year, she won an award. So she must have gotten like $1 million award or something. And how much does that outlier increase her mean income? So you're going to find the mean without and then with the outlier and see how much the difference between the two are. So you're going to subtract your 2 answers to tell me the difference. That is it. Message me if you have any questions.